These conversations happened on the evening of October 13, 2020, at Jane's Bar in a usually quiet town in Indiana. Everything you hear is true and plausible.
I mean, it looks like they were just too busy to listen. I mean, as all this virus stuff was starting in China, with them preoccupied with impeachment, Harvey Weinstein, Brexit, the Oscars, and these celebrity parents who paid $500,000 to send their daughter to USC.
And while our minds were looking around for an escape from all that bullshit, our leaders were ripping us off for our money and our liberties.
Yeah, because of the greed to make their lives better at the expense of the rest of us.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Mr. Reporter over there, maybe you'll start reporting about how these corrupt politicians will somehow figure out to achieve their American dream, even in all this chaos, while the rest of us continue to live in a nightmare just struggling to survive.
And without having time to figure out who is lying or telling the truth.
Yeah, because we're kept busy being entertained by a media that has its own political and business agenda.
Yeah, talk shows that were making a fortune getting us all riled up are now fighting each other about the virus. And years after the election, Fox News was still talking about Hillary.
Yeah, and 95% of what MSNBC is reporting on is Trump.
And now it's nonstop bad news about the virus and the economy, right from the Russian investigation to impeachment to this, with trillions spent and nothing done.
And none of you media are ever offended enough to do anything about it. Like all this corruption going on. It's like it's all for showing money. So I guess you think that we think it's okay.
Hey, take it easy, man. Come on, Chief.
Breathe. All right. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm just an average Joe and a veteran, but I can't take any more of this bullshit. All this money gets thrown down the rabbit hole, disappearing, and then lining politicians' pockets. I got to struggle in my personal life with politicians like George Bush gets tens of millions of dollars to give speeches, including a couple $100,000 to people like me who are raising money to build homes for wounded warriors who he sent over to Iraq and he should be taken care of in the first place.
Yeah, while at the same time, they're asking us private citizens to pay into that fund to build homes that ends up paying him to give a speech.
Oh, and then his wife, she gets another $50,000 for her speech. And then Clinton, remember him, made $100 million last year giving speeches. He gets $1 million, and Hillary gets hundreds of thousands of dollars to raise money for poor folks in Haiti whose lives were ripped apart from natural disasters.
You know what, man? They all help their friends, their families, and their business partners make millions when they were in office. Now they got the balls to come back to the world for more? Really?
And where do you think the virus money is going? I mean, does it ever end?
Yeah, millions in pensions and allowances and Secret Service agents who guard them day and night.
Well, Congress tried to limit it, but President Obama vetoed the bill.
Oh, Obama and his wife are making millions selling their books.
Did you know that his national security advisor said that when Obama visited Saudi Arabia, that he and his staff were given suitcases full of jewelry so that when he made a speech in Cairo, it would be favorable to Islam, which it was.
Ooh, hey, those suitcases, they were full of those little Saudi keychains and trinkets, like, right? Yeah.
You kidding? More like gold, silver, and diamonds. He actually said those gifts should have been turned back over to our government, and he wasn't sure if they were.
Yeah, and you'd think with all the money us taxpayers spend to protect the Saudis, they'd give us a better deal on oil.
Well, the Bushes are personal friends of the Saudis.
Yeah, there are a lot of knowledgeable people still talking about the Saudis being linked to 9/11 and funding ISIS. I mean,
yeah, well, and Obama vetoed the bill that was investigating the Saudis. That was actually requested by the relatives of the victims of 9/11.
Yeah, with Congress overriding his veto.
Yeah, as Bush and Robert Mueller, the director of the FBI, the guy who investigated Trump, prevented the release of the documents exposing who was involved in 9/11.
Why are Obama, Bush, and Mueller protecting the Saudis anyway, when 15 of the 19 hijackers that crashed into the towers were Saudis? 15 out of 19.
Right after the towers were hit, Bush made sure that the Saudis were right back on a plane going back to Saudi Arabia when no other planes were allowed to fly. And he knew they would get blamed.
Yeah. Those scumbags who won't worry about their plane getting hijacked, right?
And now the Saudis are spending millions at Trump's hotel in Washington as they're lobbying to stop that bill investigating them from passing again.
Hey, man, maybe Trump doesn't know they're staying in his hotels, all right? Come on.
Listen, that's how we determine our foreign policy. The enemy of the enemy are our friends. And, you know, the Saudis hate Iran, and they stay in Trump's hotel.
Oh, wait, so we let them chop up a body of a Washington Post reporter?
Yeah, in their embassy with everyone watching, but they reasoned that no one would even ask what happened to them. Oh, and now we're going to sell them nuclear weapons? That's a great idea.
Yeah. Oh, hey, is it true Bush knew there were Saudi terrorists here taking lessons on how to fly a plane before 9/11 and might be planning a hijacking?
Yeah, and they knew that these terrorists weren't interested in learning how to take off our land planes.
They knew and didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, Mueller, the FBI director at the time, said that they failed to connect the dots, even with one of their agents mentioning the World Trade Center as a possible target.
Well, somebody should be investigating him.
Yeah, well, then we went to war with Iraq. Even all the evidence pointed to Osama bin Laden, who's a Saudi, as well as all those pilots flying those planes. They were all also Saudis.
Yeah, but Bush wanted to blame Saddam Hussein so we could go to war with Iraq, and nobody asked why.
Probably because Saddam threatened to kill Bush's father.
We didn't go to war over that, though, would he?
And they had to make weapons of mass destruction to give us a reason.
You know, they should have investigated the Saudis and our own leaders the way they investigate the Russians.
You know what? Maybe the Russians know what the hell happened.
I bet they do.
Oh, how does this shit even happen? And how do you know about all this stuff anyhow?
Hey, listen, I interned in Washington for my journalism degree. I even got bit by the politics bug. I was thinking of running for office.
So are you still thinking about running?
Are you kidding me? With all the corruption I saw, they'd never let someone like me make a difference. So I thought it'd be better to become, interested and expose the truth and become part of their lives.
Yeah, besides, the folks with the money decide who gets to run.
Yeah, well, someone needs to follow the money and inform the public. So I guess that's my job. So here I am reporting on city council meetings and broken traffic lights. But it's a start.
It's a good start. But let me tell you how it gets started for everybody else. It's when we began putting them on pedestals for what they couldn't do and couldn't accomplish without our support. It's either politicians who need our vote to make our decisions for us, or celebrities to entertain us so they can take our minds off how pitiful we've become. I mean, we made them all stars.